Hello, welcome to the Balance Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Karen Truesdale Bierman, and I'm so excited to have my guest today, Beth Jones. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Karen. It's so good to be here.
Well, it's very good to see you. I guess first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Okay, I'm an international speaker and an author. I've written 25 books and still writing. I'm a wife to a fire chief paramedic, Ray, and we have three beautiful daughters, Heather, Eden, and Leah. My mission is encouraging women to use their gifts for God, to fulfill their purpose, and to live a life they love.
Wow, 25 books. When did you start publishing? 25. Wow. Tell me the timeline of that. That's amazing. I did not know that.
Thank you. I think about 2010 was when I first started, and I just kept going.
Okay, what was your first book?
It is Walking with God on Prayer. It's my very first book.
Beautiful. And then what is your most recent book?
My most recent books are fiction books and a children's book. So I'm kind of expanding.
Oh,
I've written three nonfiction. Most of my books are nonfiction, and I've written three fiction books.
Okay, and in one children's book.
It's called Nat and Jax, and it's about my cat and my daughter's cat becoming friends.
And who did the illustrations for it?
My daughter Leah is a very talented artist and musician, and she did the front cover, and then I hired an illustrator for the inside images.
Wow, I will have to look that up. Well, I guess since I'm on that question, how do people find you?
Yes, at my website at bethjones.net, and then my Amazon author page is amazon.com/author/Beth M. Jones.
Okay, very good. And how long have you been speaking? As long as you've been writing books? Like, what's the timeline with being an international speaker?
I've been writing since I was a child, so I've always loved to write. And then with speaking, God dragged me into it because I used to be so scared to speak in front of people, and now I love it. I have a motto: have luggage, will travel. And so God has been so faithful as I've been willing to go. He's let me even go to other nations to speak, and I love speaking. I really love it. I love encouraging women and giving them hope.
Wow. Where are some of the most exciting places you've traveled to speak?
I've been to Canada, where my friend Doreen Penner is. She had a retreat there. I've spoken in Haiti. I've spoken in the Bahamas on a cruise ship.
Wow.
And then I've traveled for pleasure too. Probably my favorite place to travel was Ireland with my daughter Leah. I sold a lot of copies of my book, Walking with God, to a Christian subscription book. And from the profit of that sale, we got to go to Ireland. So that was just gorgeous. I've been praying for years to go there.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did not know that. Wow. And so how much are you traveling now? Are you
The pandemic shut things down quite a bit. So I know that things are starting to open up more now. But I haven't been since that. I did go to Guatemala during the pandemic. A friend of mine invited me there to meet her and just to see Guatemala, and I got to go there and pray over the land. I actually led a man to the Lord in Central Parque, but I haven't been since then. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what's in store for you with
Yeah.
your next trip. Well, being an entrepreneur, I mean, and a wife and a mother, how do you find balance with all your different roles?
Balance is hard. I found out the definition of balance for this interview today. The definition of balance is to keep or put something in a steady position so it does not fall, or an even distribution of weight to enable someone to remain upright and steady. And God and my family, my friends, prioritizing my tasks is what keeps me steady. So spending time with God and my family and friends every day. And then I love to-do lists and I love checking them off. So for me, it's about prioritizing those to-dos because I can have quite a bit on my list.
Right. How much time do you spend writing?
It varies. When I'm inspired to start writing a book, I can actually come in here on my laptop and spend hours. I have to remind myself to come up for air, to drink, and to get up and walk around. Otherwise, I just write as inspired, whether it's a blog post or a book or content for video for an event, it just varies.
Okay. And
I'm probably writing every day, though, at least journaling.
Right. What kinds of things inspire you?
God, my family, traveling really inspires me. I love to travel. My cat inspires me. My kids, I think are so funny. My grandkids, nature, or almost anything can inspire a writer. But I think it's about paying attention.
Right, being mindful in the moment. Yeah, I definitely I traveled this morning, and when I was in the Houston airport, I had a layover for about an hour, and I got up my laptop and I wrote a blog post. So
Oh, good.
Something about being in an airport on a layover that inspires me.
It is fun to watch people at the airport. I love doing that.
Yes, yes, for sure. It's always interesting. Yeah. And how do you find the support that you need as an entrepreneur? I mean, you have friends and family, but as an entrepreneur, how do you find support?
Yeah, I have different support groups. I'm part of my coach, Diane Cunningham Ellis's Business Breakthrough Society. And that is a program which has progress pods. And I'd never heard of that before. It's for support, encouragement, and accountability. And we meet once a week on Tuesday afternoons. I'm also in my writing coach, Shelley Hitz's program. She has a membership site, which is Christian Book Academy, and that has a private Facebook group. And we ask lots of questions and get support in there. And then I have my family and friends. I also have a small group of intercessors who pray for me and just keep me encouraged. And they just really help me by praying for me, my family, and my business.
Wonderful. Do you have any groups that you lead or that you've started?
I do. I have a private Facebook group called Dream Cafe for speakers and authors. And then I'm also in a few other groups, Shelley's group, Kim Stedman's writers group, my friend Doreen Penner's Flourish group, and then Joycelyn Harrell. She is an RN speaker, author, coach. She has a community online called Living Whole Wellness Community. So I try to stay in different groups to get that support and encouragement, but I also limit my time on Facebook because I can't be on Facebook all day long.
Right. But I mean, but definitely hanging out with people, who are making things happen with similar interests and goals. Yeah, that's inspiring. Do you have any tips for our audience on balance?
Yes, I would say spend time with God every day in prayer, the Bible, and worship. That is my number one tip because Jesus, he was very productive. He was very busy, but he always spent time every day with God, his Father, and yet he was very, very productive and fruitful, and it had fruit that lasts. He had fruit that lasts. I believe it's also important to spend time with your family and your friends. And land, my happy place. I love the beach. And I stayed alone at an Airbnb there just to relax. I desperately needed this after a very stressful year.